Caitlin Clark will once again play in the arena where she took the world by storm. For the first time in franchise history, the Indiana Fever will take the court at the University of Iowa during a ceremony scheduled for February 2nd. Tickets to the preseason game will be available through the University of Iowa. The team announced today that they will play a preseason game at Carver Hawkeye Arena. The Fever will play the Brazilian national team. The University of Iowa also announced they will retire Clark's iconic number 22 jersey.
Did you see what's happening between Aja Wilson and Caitlin Clark fans right now? A single tweet just turned the WNBA world upside down, and now fans are demanding to see all of Caitlin's old posts. While Aja's controversial comments are getting dragged through the mud, Clark's Twitter history is mysteriously clean. I'm about to show you the exact tweets that started this war and why one side is getting torched while the other is getting protected. The double standard here is absolutely wild. You're not gonna believe what just happened in the WNBA world. Aja Wilson, one of the league's biggest stars, was celebrating what should have been her moment to shine with a massive shoe release event. Fans were lined up around the block, excited to support her big milestone. But instead of focusing on this career highlight, Aja decided that was the perfect time to hop on Twitter and start some drama. So here's what went down. While fans were literally waiting in line to buy her shoes, Aja fired off this tweet responding to someone called Mama Rose, saying, "I'ma say this and then I'm out cause my little yeah said, don't comment on stupidity, I can't help it."
Exciting news, Fever fans. We are coming to Iowa City. Caitlin Clark makes her return home to the University of Iowa on May 4th. We are thrilled to announce that the Indiana Fever will face off against the Brazilian national team in a preseason exhibition at Carver Hawkeye Arena.
But if I surely dislike someone or something so bad, I wouldn't spend a pinch. Talk about bad timing. Instead of enjoying her shoe release celebration, she was busy typing up clapbacks to critics. And that's when things went completely sideways. The internet never forgets, right? Fans immediately started digging through Aja's Twitter history, and what they found was honestly shocking. They uncovered tweets from 2012 to 2013 where Aja made some seriously problematic comments about fellow WNBA star Brittany Griner. These weren't just little jabs either. In one tweet, Aja wrote, "Brittany Griner been drafted to the Harlem Globetrotters, LOL." But it gets worse. She also tweeted, "I'm convinced that's a dude."
The Indiana Fever will be heading to Caitlin Clark's old stomping grounds this May. The team will play a preseason game at Carver Hawkeye Arena for the first time in franchise history. Tickets will be available through the University of Iowa and will go on sale at a later date. The game is set for May 4th at 5 p.m. and the Fever will be taking on the Brazilian national team.
The team announced today that they will play a preseason game at Carver Hawkeye Arena. The Fever will play the Brazilian national team. The University of Iowa also announced they will retire Clark's iconic number 22 jersey.
And no one can tell me otherwise. I'll just be waiting for the day she calls, she says gotcha and show his balls. Yeah, that actually happened. A future WNBA superstar posting extremely offensive comments about another player's gender identity and appearance. What's really interesting is how this caught even the most dedicated WNBA fans off guard. Hardcore followers of the league had no idea that Aja had ever made comments like these about a fellow player. It blindsided the entire community, and you could literally watch the shocked reactions spread across social media in real time as people discovered these old tweets. Here's where it gets even messier. For months now, Aja's friends have been going after Caitlin Clark online with constant criticism and attacks. And through all of that, Aja never once stepped in to call for a ceasefire or suggest maybe they should tone it down.
So just about a month ago, it was announced that the Indiana Fever would be playing an exhibition game, preseason game, against the Brazilian national team, which would be taking place in Iowa's Hawkeye Carver Arena. Not that it mattered, because I'm just a member of the public here. I read that the tickets were only available to Kinnick Gold Society members, and I think it's like or one club level donors. And the tickets, I personally was actually wanting to get to a Carver Arena game because I've never been, and I know that crowd, and a lot of you guys that are probably watching that video can attest.
But the second someone criticizes her, suddenly she's jumping into Twitter battles and defending herself. The double standard is just wild. The contrast between these two stars couldn't be clearer. When fans decided to play the same game with Caitlin Clark and dig through her old tweets, they were in for a major disappointment if they were hoping for drama. All they found were completely innocent posts about, wait for it, Costco rotisserie chicken, and some rap lyrics from when she was a teenager. That's it. Nothing controversial, nothing offensive, just normal teenage stuff. The comment sections absolutely exploded with people saying, "Pull up Caitlyn's tweets, let's see what she said." But when they did, there was nothing to find. One fan even joked, "I'm sorry, but this must be posted again. The world has to see what kind of jokes Caitlin Clark told."
Here's the announcement that Indiana Fever posted to their socials when the news came out, saying, "Iowa, are you ready? We're coming to Carver Hawkeye Arena for a preseason game against the Brazilian national team Sunday, May 4th. But you know, I can't say that I'm going to be rooting for my national team in that moment." And you know who else is Brazilian? Damaris Dantas. So she better know where her loyalty sits. And of course, Caitlin Clark responded with her legendary one-word mic drop, "Yes,"
referring to her completely harmless tweets about everyday things. This whole situation just exposes the massive double standard in how these two players are treated. Caitlin Clark gets put under a microscope for literally everything she does. Her facial expressions during games, her celebrations, how she interacts with teammates, while Aja's genuinely problematic history was completely ignored until now. What makes this even more interesting is the timing. This Twitter storm erupted during what should have been Aja's victory lap.
Caitlin Clark doesn't just move the needle, she is the needle. I'm actually unsure if this is going to be televised. I'm hoping that it is. I'll start looking into that and I'll update you guys on all that information. Selling out before it was announced to the general public. Everything Caitlin Clark touches turns to gold, and truth be told, I gotta wonder how Dewana Bonner, Natasha Howard, with a really pumped up crowd, because those Aces fans, they do pop off. Sometimes not in the best way for Dearica Hamby, but you know, the Aces were, two-time champs, and the Las Vegas Aces fans have like a big presence.
Her shoe release. Instead of headlines celebrating this achievement, everyone's talking about these resurfaced tweets instead. That's got to hurt from a PR perspective. And there you have it, folks. This social media drama says everything about character in professional sports. The WNBA has a long history of monitoring players' social media behavior, often with serious consequences when problematic content resurfaces. What's wild is that we're seeing this accountability applied so selectively in real time. Let's be real, this league can only continue growing if there's consistency in how players are treated. Right now, we're witnessing this bizarre double standard where some athletes face constant scrutiny while others get free passes for similar or worse behavior. So what do you think? Should the WNBA step up and address these inconsistencies? Should Aja face the same accountability other players have experienced in the past? Drop your thoughts in the comments about these tweets and whether you believe it's time for Aja to publicly address what she said about Brittany. The league's future might depend on getting this right